is Bob from Metal and Mortgages.
My friend Boomer Bob.
Shout out to Boomer Bob from Metal and Mortgages.
Boomer Bob's previous podcast was called Metals and Mortgages.
That robot from Metal and Mortgages called back again.
Boomer Bob show coming soon.
Bob said he's drinking and driving and texting right now. That's what I'm all about.
The Boomer Bob show. Boomer Bob tears me a new one. What do you got for me, Boomer Bob?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Boomer Bob here. Happy Juneteenth to everybody out there. I'm sure you're ready to go out and celebrate. And wait a minute. I'm guessing the majority of my listener base is not allowed at the celebration. Well, anyway, at any rate, I hope you're having a good time, whatever you're doing. Maybe watch it on TV. I have no idea what to tell you. Just going to run through some news stories. Shut the fuck up. Let me do my thing. Okay. I got asked by more than one person. We'll just put it like that, and more than two, actually. Actually, more than like 9. Okay, it's more like... Okay, more than one person to go ahead and release another solo episode. So here I am. It's your fault. You know who you are. And that's why this is here. I have really no material, so I'm just going to kind of just click on some stuff and maybe react to it. So this is current events going on, things that are in the news. We'll go with this one.
Senator Amy Klobuchar has pulled out of the running to be vice president for presumptive Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden. Klobuchar said she personally called Biden and told him to pick a woman of color as his VP. Biden responded on Twitter, Amy, from the moment you announced you were running for president in a snowstorm, it wasn't hard to see you had the grit and determination to do anything you set your mind to. You know how to get things done. With your help, we're going to beat Donald Trump. Biden has said he will pick a woman as his vice president and plans to make his decision by early August.
Oh, Christ. First of all, Klobuchar, you never had a chance to begin with, especially after what happened in your home state. You can thank Minneapolis for that one. While she did give a few engaging or outside of the box, I guess, answers during the debates, in recent months, it was a couple times I went, yeah, but only a couple times. Not enough to go, hey, I'm going to pull the lever for that one. But I mean, let's be honest. She never had a chance. And she said that she advised old fingerfuck Joe to pick a woman of color because, gender and skin color are the only qualifications these days. And it said to beat Trump because that's their only goal, to beat Trump. I think if you just shut the fuck up and sit back, he's going to beat himself. I mean, the man came out yesterday tweeting about, if it wasn't for me, nobody'd know what Juneteenth is. You're welcome, black people. My knowledge of your holiday, your unrecognized, unfederally recognized holiday to the world, you owe it to me. What a fucking moron. Like, that's... I don't even know what to say to that. And this is equally as fucking stupid. I'd like to see if I can pull it up real quick. There's a Biden ad that keeps popping up on every freaking YouTube video that I go to watch. And he even gaffes in the commercial. It's like, what? What? Come, there's no way.
Hi, everybody. Let me start by saying...
that's rude. I just went to his YouTube page, and we got this motherfucker popping up on my screen, this corrupt piece of shit from Chicago. Yes, every politician in Chicago is corrupt. You want proof? You can go back about 100 years, and you'll find it. They all are. Anything to come out of Chicago is a corrupt piece of shit. I don't care what party you are. If you're coming from Chicago, you're a corrupt piece of shit. Trying to find his stupid ass commercial that he had. That's the bitch of it, is if I wanted to just click on a random freaking video in efforts to get the ad to play first for old fingerfuck Joe, I would never get it. Like I'd get everything else. Nope. I'm getting an ad for a truck I don't want. Buttholes.
There's never been a more critical time.
Yeah, there's never been a more critical time. Just stop. Stop. Where's my ad? When you want an ad, you don't get it. Stop it with your autoplay.
There's never been a more critical time.
Not funny. I don't care who you are. It's not funny. Stop. Stop laughing. Yeah, no, Schadenfreude. Yeah, got it. This video may be inappropriate for some users. Users? I'm not a user. I don't use drugs. Thank you.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, I got it. I got it. Let's check out his freaking lovely YouTube ad. Hello, everyone.
I'm coming directly to you for ask a quick favor.
I'm coming directly to you for ask a quick favor. Did you hear that? I heard that. I'm coming to you directly for ask. There's captioning at the bottom. And trust me, it's not for the hearing impaired. It's because you can't understand this fucking guy.
Will you add your name today to join our team? I've said from the outset of this election.
When you add your name today to join this team. When? Oh, you mean will. Will.
That we're in a battle for the soul of this nation. Who we are, what we believe, who we want to be. It's all at stake. And that's truer today than ever. But the only way to defeat Donald Trump and move forward is by doing it together. So please, join us. You're not just wanted, you're needed.
If you're that hard up for votes, because the only way to beat Donald Trump is to just grovel in YouTube ads that play before videos that people actually want to see. If that's the only way to win and to beat Donald Trump, you're fucking up. Maybe you should realign. Because I'll tell you right now, you've got 97% of all media, social, news, everything is on your side. Netflix, all of them. They're all on the side that you are running for the president of. They're all liberals, which is fine. Personally, I'm not a fan of either side. I think they both suck. But I'm also not a libertarian either. I'm libertarian because it shows I'm different. And I'm not for a party. How about we have 3 presidents? All right. You split the $500,000 or $600,000 annual pay. All right. You get to sleep in bunk beds. All right. First order of business, figuring out who gets the top bunk. Fight amongst yourselves. Don't give a shit. All right. Play paper, rock, scissors. I don't know. Draw straws, whatever. But have 3 people as president and you agree or nothing happens. The idea probably wouldn't work, but hey, it popped into my head like earlier today and it popped into my head a while back too. I just like, that's stupid. And today I actually verbalized it or vocalized it. I'm going to thumbs down this ad because Joe can go fuck himself. Well, back to the news. All the news that you could use and some you can't. Let's see. Here we go.
As more and more California businesses reopen, people in the state are now required to wear face masks when out in public. California Governor Gavin Newsom issued the statewide order Thursday. He said in a statement, "Simply put, we are seeing too many people with faces uncovered, putting at risk the real progress we have made in fighting the disease." Under the new guidance, Californians now have to wear a face covering while in high-risk situations, including seeking medical care, taking public transportation, engaging in work, and in any indoor public space. There are several exemptions to the order.
Here we go. This is where it gets important. Pay attention.
People don't have to wear a mask while eating or drinking in restaurants.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, Governor Newsom, Governor Gav. Thanks for not requiring me to wear a mask when eating or drinking in a fucking restaurant. Stupid mother.
or participating in outdoor recreation if they can keep at least 6 feet from others.
What about when swimming? Do I need to wear a mask when I dive underwater to play Marco fucking Polo?
Children aged 2 and younger, as well as anyone who
Thanks for not requiring my infant to wear a mask.
is hearing impaired or has a medical, mental health, or developmental disability.
That's everybody in California. So, hey, guess what? You're all off the hook. No masks required because you're all mentally incapacitated.
Prevents them from wearing a mask can also disregard the mandate. The order was issued on the same day California announced more than 4,000 new coronavirus cases. That's the highest number of cases recorded in a single day in the state since the
No. People are going back to work, and a lot of those people are being tested by their employer so they can work, and therefore more testing is being done. Therefore, you're going to have a surge in new cases. I shouldn't have to be the one to tell you this.
outbreak began. California health officials say the increase is likely a result of more testing being done across the state. They pointed out that hospitalizations due to COVID-19 are remaining relatively steady.
There we go. Hey, there's a rise in cases. Why? Because we're testing. Okay. Carry on. What connects HIV and COVID-19, their impact on black people? I'm going to leave that one alone. I mean, I really don't give a shit if I get fucking canceled or not because I got nothing going on to lose anyway. Cancel me. I don't give a shit. But what's the risk of going on a bike ride with friends? This is going to be fascinating.
When it comes to getting sick with COVID-19, you might be thinking about this, and we have too.
Nope.
Justin asked.
If I go on a bike ride with friends, what's the risk of getting COVID-19?
You're in Chicago. It showed that it said this guy's in Chicago. If you go on a bike ride with friends, your risk isn't COVID-19. It's fucking murder because you're a white guy in Chicago on a bicycle. You're fucked. Stay home.
Experts, their take contracting COVID-19 from going on a bike ride is low risk.
You're really not in close proximity there, so that's probably a low risk activity overall.
All right. If I'm riding in a single file line with somebody else and they're in front of me and they fart, what are the chances I'm going to smell it? I can't do that. I can't put myself through the rest of this minute and a 10-second fucking video. So stupid, and they're calling this news. What are the risks if I ride my bicycle? I don't know. Murder, ran over by a car, might get a flat tire, may just burn some calories. Oh, Pelosi. What is this bitch doing now?
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has ordered the portraits of 4 former House speakers who served in or fought for the Confederacy to be removed from the U.S. Capitol building.
In these hallways that very few people get to walk through.
In a letter to the House clerk on Thursday, Pelosi requested the immediate removal of the portraits from the halls of Congress, calling them symbols that set back our nation's work to confront and combat bigotry.
Okay, she's old enough to remember when slavery was legal. Keep that in mind here. Please, this November, if they're on the ballot, pick the other person. I don't care if the other person is Charles fucking Manson. Pick that over the same career scumbags that we have in office now that have been in there since, I don't know, the majority of my life, and I'm a boomer. I mean, this bitch got in office when I was like, I don't know, I just got my driver's license. Now I've owned like 47 cars.
The men in question are Robert Hunter of Virginia, Howell Cobb of Georgia, James Orr of South Carolina, and Charles Crisp of Georgia. Pelosi said during a news conference later in the day that she didn't know about the former speaker's ties to the Confederacy until recently, but that with Friday being Juneteenth, now is the right time for the portraits to be retired.
The clerk will oversee the removal of those Confederate speakers from the House. As I've said before, there's no room in the hallowed halls of this.
So, same argument with the monuments. If she removes those portraits, of people that nobody know or give a flying fuck about. I mean, personally, I've been through those halls last October. I got to walk through those halls with my local congressman, Mo Brooks, and his wife. Really nice, down-to-earth people. Very gracious, very cool to us. And I'll tell you, I thought some of those like came with the frame. You know what I mean? I'm like, who the hell is that? That must have came with the frame. I don't see what the big deal is here. So I guess if we take those down, then can we just move on and forget all this shit and go back to normal?
Democracy, this temple of democracy, to memorialize people who embody violent bigotry and grotesque racism of the Confederacy.
Pelosi also recently called for the removal of 11 Confederate statues from the National Statuary Hall.
Why don't we just go ahead and I don't know, let's just remove those states from the Union. Yeah. All of the southern states. Let's check this one out. Atlanta police call in sick to protest murder charge in Brooks killing.
Some Atlanta police officers have called out sick this week in protest of murder charges against.
I'll go ahead and clarify that. Most of them, not some, most of them have been calling in sick, and they've been doing it all week. The police scanner, the radios have been silent. You know why? Because there's nobody to talk to. Nobody at dispatch. That's what happens when you play politics. And they're like, oh, no, nobody's walking off the job. It's only a couple of guys, and they think they got diarrhea or something. So they're sick. So, yeah, that's it. Yeah, no, so you don't worry. We got plenty of cops to go around, you know, because we always have plenty of officers sitting by going, boy, I wish there was something to do. It's a lie. It's a bluff. They don't want you to know that there's no cops out there. They probably got like janitors and shit driving around in the cop cars with a badge on going, yep, they're like, don't pull anybody over. Like, you just go from here and go get me a cup of coffee and McMuffin, and then you come right back, all right? You can drive around a little bit just to let people see the car going around. Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
The officer who shot and killed Rashard Brooks. Brooks, a black man, was shot twice in the back while trying to run away.
Why does it matter what his skin color was? Just real quick. How about this? Brooks, a man who passed out in his car in the drive-thru, had to be woken up by the police when he was asked to pull his car over to the side, sort of pulled it into the grass a little bit because he was that trashed. I don't know why the cops allowed him to do that. Failed a field sobriety test, failed a breathalyzer, and when they attempted to put the cuffs on him, well, he fought, assaulted both of the police officers, took one of their tasers, the taser that Atlanta prosecutor, district attorney, the prior week had just said was a deadly weapon and needs to be classified as a deadly weapon. The police tasers. Yeah, the DA in Atlanta, a week prior to this happening, came out and said that those tasers are deadly. So this guy takes the taser and hauls ass. The cops go after him. He points the taser at a cop. Now, granted, the cop was over 18 feet away, but he points it at him. Now, I don't know, if you fire those police tasers, do they have, I think they have, I want to say 3 charges in them. I could be wrong. So you could fire the thing 3 times without reloading, but I have done zero research on that. But pointing at the cop, now granted the cop was 18 feet away and he put 2 bullets in his back. I'm not saying the cop was justified in doing that. But I mean, this is also, it's not this guy's first time. Well, I'm not going to say all the bad things that this guy has in his in his past, but we'll just say it's a checkered past. Okay. But why do they got to say that he was a black man? Why does that matter? Because the media needs you to know that. They need you to know that because that's their narrative.
From police officers in a Wendy's parking lot, prosecutors allege the white officer, Garret Rolf, yelled, "I got him," after he shot Brooks. Rolf was fired and faces 11 charges, including felony murder. The police.
Okay, when he said I got him, I mean, I haven't watched the video like that far or seen or heard it. But I think it was like, I got him. Like, as in, like, no need to continue. My partner doesn't need to get out his service weapon and fire into him, too. I think that's more of why he said that. It wasn't like, woohoo, I got high score.
Force's interim chief told the Associated Press that the sick calls started Wednesday night.
I mean, the chief of police quit. Resigned. Like, I'm out of here. Fuck this place.
He said despite some officers staying home, the department still has enough staff. Rolf and the other officer involved, Devin Brosnan, turned themselves in Thursday. Rolf is being held without bond and was moved from jail to a different facility over security concerns. Brosnan, who faces charges of aggravated assault and violation of oath by a public officer, has been placed on administrative duty. He was released on bond. For Newsy, I'm Stephanie Sandoval.
Leave Brittany alone. Just leave Brittany alone. That's all I gotta say. What else we got?
Business owners Margaret and Brandon Williamson and their 2 sons have written a book.
I will say they are a beautiful couple. They look very happy, very much in love.
Hoping to teach children what a Black entrepreneur can look like.
He's going to be wearing different clothes.
Children, most of them that I know, that I've ever known, don't even know what the fucking entrepreneur is.
And he's going to have a different vernacular, and no child should be shocked.
I got an idea. How about we let kids be kids? Because the images that they depict here, these are drawings. They're not, they're cartoonish artwork. They're not live action. So we don't see actual kids here. We see these kids look like 7, 6. Why are you teaching them about Black entrepreneurship and not like, I don't know, putting the toilet seat down so mom don't fall in, or picking up your toys in your room? You know, the basics. That's where I was at that age. You know, if my dad would have sat me down when I was like 8 and went, you know what, Bobber? Let me teach you about entrepreneurship. Been like, who? Okay. Well, Bobber, you gotta find a gimmick there, Bobber. You want to sell widgets, you know, you gotta, hey, go get me a beer. Okay. And that would be the end of that conversation. I think you're asking a little much here of these kids. But back to the story.
That same man owns a business.
But they say the real challenge is convincing the business world.
This Juneteenth, many African Americans are pouring money back into Black-owned businesses.
Which is racist.
But author and Brookings Institution fellow Andre Perry says in order for Black businesses to thrive, the entire system needs an overhaul.
Our ice is just as cold. Our businesses are as quality. We don't need to be in a program to build capacity. We don't need more financial literacy. What we need is investment.
The Williamsons say they started their clothing line, Persevere, by cashing in their 401ks.
Okay, so this particular business, this particular very cute couple, they started their business by cashing in their 401ks. Hey, you know what I've never had in my 49 fucking years on this planet? A 401k. I also don't know anybody that's got one either.
And they've made millions in sales.
They've made millions in sales.
They also got a lot of attention when the line was featured on the Fox TV show Empire.
Their clothing line has been featured on the Fox television show Empire. That's right. What? Oh, Jussie, lion-ass, bullshit, motherfucking Smollett.
8 years later, they face obstacles applying for loans.
Okay, 8 years later, they're facing obstacles applying for loans. Why do you need loans? You've got millions in sales. Jussie Smollett, Warrior shit, or whatever the fuck on Empire. Let's go.
You're telling me that if another company came to you with our resume of 8 years of success, partnerships with, Fortune 100 companies.
She's laying out all the reasons she should not need a loan. She should not need investment. I'm going to back this up just a smidgen, and I want you to pay attention because I don't have the little ding ding bell like Adam Curry does to highlight what you need to be paying attention to.
With our resume of 8 years of success, partnerships with, Fortune 100 companies. You know what I mean? Partnerships on the highest level where we've delivered 6,000 pieces for the Grammys. That's still not enough.
A 2019.
They delivered 6,000 pieces for the Grammys. Yeah, cool. What'd you do with all that money? You've had partnerships with Fortune 100 companies. What'd you do with all that money? Guess what? I've been in business 8 years too. Guess how many business loans I've gotten? Guess how many investors I've taken on? Fucking zero. And I'm glad. There have been times when I'm like, boy, I could use a little payroll money. And I've had to tap into the equity loan because, well, clients owed me money and it wasn't really technically past due yet, but, it just hadn't come in the mailbox yet. That's just the way it works. When you have $14,000, that's not hit your mailbox yet, even though it should have by now, but it's not because, well, people who work in offices and cut checks, they don't give a shit if they take off early or not. I'm going to go home early today. Fuck getting all my vendors paid. So, yeah, I had to tap into the equity loan, bum X amount of dollars to make payroll, that kind of thing. When I started out, I didn't borrow any money from anybody. I didn't have savings, all right? I literally quit my job after many months of trying to negotiate with my boss for working conditions that I could tolerate. But having to deal with the assholes that I had to deal with on a daily fucking basis literally drove me insane. That I would rather quit my job and risk losing everything I've worked for, my home, my cars, everything, put me and my wife and my kid on a street. I would rather risk that being a possibility than to continue to work for this man for one more fucking day. And I'm a dedicated worker. I made him a lot of damn money. So I got my last paycheck and got my insurance, got my business license, and I used the vehicle that I had to operate out of. I've already had a bunch of tools. Over the years, I've gathered up a bunch of tools. I'm a guy. That's just what I do. I'm a boomer, and I like tools. So I got a garage full of them. The one thing that I ended up needing to buy, because the one that I had was a little bit long in the tooth at the time and not really designed for professional grade use. It was more of a homeowner model. I had to buy a spray rig, a paint sprayer, airless, and I needed about $900. Found one on sale, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, at the very beginning there, within the first, I'd say 2 months, I had to tap into my equity loan for that. But other than that, 8 years, why would I need investment? Would I like $500,000 investment? I could probably turn this into something major with that. I could probably dominate the entire state doing what I do. Do I want to do that? No, because what I do takes care of me and mine. And that's enough for me. I don't need excess like that. Okay? I'm fine with 2 SM7Bs. I don't need an entire cabinet full of them. So I don't know what their goals are. Let's go on.
Report from the Federal Reserve outlines a disparity in loan approval rates between blacks and whites.
Well, that's all over the place. Guess what? People with high credit scores get lower interest rates than people with lower credit scores. That's just the way it works. I know this because guess what? I don't have a high credit score. I don't qualify for tier 1 most of the time. I don't get what I want. It's because of the color of my skin. That's what it is.
With 49% of whites approved for all of the financing they applied for, compared to 31% of blacks. Sometimes it's due to a lack of collateral, but not always.
Most people start their business using the equity in their homes.
There you are.
Homes in black neighborhoods are systematically devalued.
Whoa. How are homes in black neighborhoods systematically devalued? Explain that to me, because I've lived in those neighborhoods. Yes, the homes did not cost as much. The rent was lower. That's why I lived there. Now, the things I noticed while I lived in those neighborhoods that I don't experience as much in other neighborhoods where the rent is more are things like people take impeccable care of their lawn. They're really concerned about their home's upkeep and the curb appeal, which, well, that adds to value. They don't park 17 fucking cars in their front yard. It's unsightly and therefore devalues the property. Let's see. They don't throw garbage in the street. Like, that's one of the things. I used to go out to the damn mailbox. I'd have to walk out in the middle of my road where I lived and pick up a drink cup or a empty pack of Newports, whatever, because somebody just threw it out of their car. They're like, hey, I'm done with this. Throw it out. I don't get that here. I mean, I live on a country road, so I do get some in the ditch, but I mean, we're talking, 10 to 12,000 cars going by every day versus the 1 to 200 cars that would go by in my old neighborhoods. And let's see, we got the differences. Bumping bass. How about that? I do get a little bit of that maybe once a day. Get somebody come by with some, Jackie Chan in the trunk trying to kick his way out. But when I lived in the lower rent neighborhood, yeah, it was virtually every car. There was a lot more people that yelled out in their front yard at each other. Don't really have so much of that here. There's a reason that the value is lower. It's not systemic. If you want your property value to be higher, cut your grass, make your house look nice, trim them bushes, keep the garbage picked up. Don't park 17 cars in your front fucking yard. Turn your goddamn stereo down and don't fight in the front yard. Simple. It's not systemic at all.
Reducing the amount of revenue they can draw upon to start businesses.
COVID-19 isn't helping Black businesses, with an estimated 41% closing since the pandemic.
What about white businesses? It's not been very kind to them either. You act like we have some kind of a virus immunity.
Started. An Inspector General's report found the first round of PPP help from the Small Business Administration failed to issue guidance for lenders to prioritize businesses in rural and underserved communities. So
why should they have to prioritize? Shouldn't a lender just be able to base it on qualification, and the qualifications cannot be based upon age, sexual preference, religion, color of skin, etc.? But other than that, everybody pretty much gets judged by the same shit. Ability to repay the loan, right? Collateral, all that stuff. No, let's just let some of these other people slide through because of where they're located and because they have a different skin color.
He missed out. Perry says it's a cycle. Banks historically approve loans for more white-owned businesses. So when it was time to issue PPP, that went to customers who already had a relationship with the bank.
Oh, fuck.
But a 2020 study from the Brookings Institute
guess how much PPP I got?
Other reasons
0.
Businesses have trouble staying afloat.
What we found is that businesses owned by people of color in Black neighborhoods actually have higher Yelp reviews than their white peers, but they get less revenue. And that's generally because many people avoid quality because it's in a Black neighborhood.
Whoa, okay. All right. So what he's saying is that people won't go to a Black-owned business in a Black neighborhood because they have high-quality stuff. Because they have high-quality food, high-quality clothing, people won't go there, is what he's saying. Because it's, well, if this was in a different neighborhood, I'd go there. But now, if you're talking about Karen driving her SUV through gun violence to get to a Black-owned business because they got good ribs, yeah, I don't blame Karen. If that's what you're talking about, you might need to move that business to somewhere that Karen can get to it without having fucking bullet holes put in the side of her Range Rover, if that's your target market. But from what I can hear, though, of what's going on in the media, Black-owned businesses should be doing great because all the corporations like Uber, they're giving free rides to people that are going to Black-owned businesses. They're doing Uber Eats is doing free delivery from Black-owned restaurants. There's just so much going on there. Everything's free. Everything's just virtue signaled in your direction.
That's why things like the Buy Black movement and websites like the Nile List, an online directory of Black businesses.
The Nile List, they don't put it up on the screen. So are they saying that they're nihilists, or that the list is called Nile, like the river in Egypt, N-I-L-E list?
Have become so important. They incentivize people to support Black businesses no matter what.
And companies like Uber Eats are waiving delivery fees for some Black-owned restaurants. But Perry says change will also take getting rid of the fear of investing. The Williamsons say they aren't asking for a leg up, but an equal playing field.
Can I suggest Shark Tank? Because I've never seen them discriminate based on skin color. So I think that we should take all of this loan money, all of this business loan money, this investment money that is being withheld from people based on their color of skin, and we should put it as prize money. If you get a deal with at least one of the sharks on Shark Tank, since they are not racist or biased based on color of skin, then you get the money. But if they all go, there's a lot of clothing lines out there. There's a lot of clothing businesses out there. I cannot tell you how many times, what's his name? Damon Johns or something like that. He's on there. He owns like a FUBU and all this kind of shit. He's an expert in his shit. And he's like, clothing is an extremely flooded market. Like, it's really hard to stand out in that particular line. And that's what this particular couple that they've got being interviewed in this news story, they own a clothing business. One of them is a designer and blah, blah, blah. So if you can get Damon to back you with his own money, all right, then you can take that check that he gives you and give it back to him. And then somebody else will give you the money out of the actual investment, loan fund. So that way it's not racist. I've seen a lot of black people on Shark Tank get denied. Maybe I should wait and see if they start coming forward. Yeah, they denied me because of the color of my skin. It was systemic racism on that show. Not everything has to do with your color of skin. Sometimes it's just scary. I mean, they really look like they have a pretty nice damn business. Those clothes looked really nice. The store looked great too. Like, I don't know if they're charging too much or what, but I'd buy something from them. I'd definitely go in there and look around and check a couple of price tags myself, personally. Look like some nice shit. They got skills. And if I had the kind of money, I'd be like digging into it. I'd be like, what's your background look like here with this business? Tell me a little bit. Because, I don't know, I got $250,000 I'd like to invest. What would you do with that money? I think that's about all of the news stories I can take for one episode. Well, actually, there's another one.
The New York City Council passed 6 bills aimed at reforming law enforcement in the city Thursday. The bills range from requiring the visibility of officer badge numbers to an official ban on chokeholds or other restraining tactics that restrict air and blood flow. The bills also require that the police department disclose how surveillance technology is used, as well as create a penalty system for police officers.
I'm not against the ban on chokeholds that, restrict blood flow, blah, 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 air and blood flow. But isn't that kind of the point of a chokehold? Am I wrong? Sorry, but if I'm fighting for my life against a criminal, somebody crazy enough to attack a cop, to fight a cop, an armed person, I'm going to use whatever the hell I got to get them the hell off of me and then incapacitate them. Maybe not kill them, but I'm going to do what I got to do to get out of this alive with as little damage to me or anybody else around innocent as possible. I don't really get the point. Why don't we ban kneeling on somebody's neck for 9 minutes? How about that? Let's not take away all forms of defense these officers have. It's just stupid.
With disciplinary issues. The passing of these bills comes amid nationwide protests against police brutality and racism. Some of the bills have been in the works for quite a few years. City council members.
They've been in the works for quite a few years, but we've been sitting on them waiting for the next riot. Rather than being proactive and, I don't know, trying to prevent problems, let's just be reactive. We'll just wait till shit gets all fucked up and then we might do something. Hey, Jim, what do you want to do with all these, new rules and shit? Let's just sit on them. Ain't nobody died yet unnecessarily.
Reportedly began working on the bill banning chokeholds back in 2014 following the death of Eric Garner.
See? 6 years ago. They've been sitting on this shit. Thank you, Catherine. For those who don't know, I own a business. I do make-ready painting, and what that is when somebody moves out of an apartment or a rental home, well, I go in there and make it look fresh again. for the new tenant. And all too often I have to scrape inspirational messages off of the walls. You know, you can get those transferred decals or appliques or whatever they call them, where you peel off the backing, stick it on the wall and you rub it, and then you peel off the outside layer and it just leaves the words or whatever. And my favorite one, I think, is the one I had to do today that says live, laugh, love. Now, we've all seen that on cheap dollar store artwork, you know, clearance bin bullshit. Live, laugh, love. What great advice. Because I wasn't planning to do that before reading that. Before you bought that $5 artwork, that framed bullshit, and hung it up in your home, and I saw it, I had no intentions to live, laugh, or love. But now I'm moved. The only people that are laughing are the ones who are making the signs, or the decals, or their artwork that you're buying, because they're laughing all the way to the bank. And because they got so much of your damn money, because you keep buying this stupid shit, they're living it up. So they're the only ones getting to live too. And they're loving it. They're loving that you're buying this ridiculous, just deadpan inspiration. If you need that in your life, if you need to wake up in the morning and go in your bathroom, digging the crust out of your eyes, and you squat to take a piss, and you look up and you see live, laugh, love, oh, and that actually changes your mood, well, then more power to you. Doesn't work for me. Doesn't work for me. What works for me when I get up in the morning, changing my mood, I get up and squat for that pee because my knees are too sore for me to even stand up. What makes me smile is I go, what day is it? Saturday. Shit, yeah. My day. Because on Saturday, everybody can go play hide and go F themselves. That's inspiration for me. Not having to go out here and be a slave. Not having to go out here and be a battery for everybody else's bank accounts. What about have you ever met somebody who liked a band just because of where they're from? Like, you like Springsteen? Really? Why? Well, you know, I'm from New Jersey. He's from New Jersey too. Oh. Huh. Asbury Park? Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. That's a stupid reason to like somebody. Stupid. Oh, well, I like Billy Joel. Why do you like Billy Joel? What's your favorite song? Oh, I don't know. What? Uptown Girl? Piano Man? Big Shot? No, I don't know. I'm not, they're all good. Why do you like him? What do you like about it? Oh, he's from Long Island and I'm from Long Island. I've never met anybody from Jacksonville who liked Limp Bizkit because they were from Jacksonville. So I digress. I got home today, turned on the TV, of course, commercials. And what do I see? All these businesses going, free curbside pickup. Use the app, place your order, and pull up and we'll bring it out to your car. No charge. Totally free. So you're going to tell me that if I give you money for a product and involve virtually zero interaction with anybody that would cost you money, like an employee, like, I don't know, a cashier. I'm not walking into your store increasing your air conditioning bill because my body heat. So I'm not costing you electricity by those automatic doors having to open and close, tracking dirt onto your carpet. I'm not costing you money by having to interact with a blue shirt. I'm not costing you money by having to have somebody at a cash register when I bring my item up there. I'm just using an app, buying something with no interaction with anybody but me and my phone. And then I pull up and somebody puts the item in my trunk. Free curbside pickup. And you're not going to charge me for that? Well, thanks. Thank you. Thank you so much. That is so generous of you. So generous of you to offer that service for nothing. Technically, you should give me a discount. I'm going to wrap this one up. I really appreciate you guys listening this far in. This is for you. You know who you are. Boomer Bob. Till next episode.
Ain't no lie, getting old as a bitch. Gonna spit this game, only way I'll get rich.